れで配信はできてるのかしら。同時視聴者数につけた瞬間にどういうことだろう。まあいいや。これはどうするかな。放送画面を開い共有ボタン的なのってなかったっけ？これでいけてるか？まあテスト配信も兼ねてやる感じになるので、音量の状態、バランスとか問題があったら教えてください。新規ゲームと。
What's this? No. Baba. Boop, boop. La la la. Ooh. Oh, look! It's a book! Maybe it's a book about pirates with a treasure map. No, I don't think so. I wish that I had seen through all your lies. Oh, start from the beginning, not the middle. And so I decided to pick up my pen to relate the most disturbing episode of my life thus far.
It all began early one morning in 1898, when Sherlock Holmes invited me to accompany him on a visit to the Marquis of Conyngham.
これがシャーロックかな。
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson, and believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see, but you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
A matter of course? In the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running, but the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
お、ここから操作可能か。反転した時に歩き出すのが遅いな。
This window was cut with a diamond, a clean, discreet piece of work. This is where the necklace was.
See how tiny the hole is, and not one fingerprint upon the window.
なんかすごい位置に飾ってるね。あんまり人が見るような感じで置いてるわけではないのかな。
This window was cut with a
See how tiny.
初期のバイオよりも動きがなんか機械的だな。割と気持ち悪いぞこのシャーロック。で、他の手がかりは何のアイコンも表示されないんですけど。
This window was
See how
もういいっ
tiny.
て。これはもういいって。持ってるアイテムか。ポケットナイフにマッチ。なんでこの人ナイフ持ってるんですかね。いや、いいけど。でだ。クリックゲーらしいんだけど。お、2期いらっしゃい。そう、なんか、今セール中で300円で買えたからやってみようと思って。
A mark.
落ちた嘘だろマジかマジか。これ再開できてるあ、大丈夫そうか。びっくりした。ちょっと待って。この序盤でゲームが落ちるのはやめてほしいんだけど。何かと思ったわ。さっきこの辺りで出たけど、どうすんだ。クリックゲーって書いてたのに、あれなんだよな。カーソルが見えないから、どれを調べているものやら。こっちやり直し
This window.
あ、そういうこと。オータムセールすごいよね。今月全然、買い物とかしてなかったら、もっといろんなもの買おうかと思ったけど。
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
全ての窓は閉
A
ま
mark,
っている。
undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
さっきのこっちの切り口に比べて荒くない？暖炉に向かいます。手のアイ プになってるからクリックして拾うと。あ、マジか。そこら辺の設定もなきゃいけなかったけど、どこから変えんだ。マイクのこれか。これのプロパティじゃないな。どっから変えるんじゃろう。音声チャンネルステレオだからこれか。これちょっと配信切れそうだな。まあ、早めに直しとくに越したことはないか。再起動しないと適用されないだけかこれは。いや、ちょっと一旦 OBS を再起動かけるか。これは戻ってこれたかな。これでちゃんとマイク両方から流れてる？マイクっていうか音声。
Let us examine the
はい、
crumpled
探偵になりました。
scores that have fallen off the piano.
OK。はい、かの有名なシャーロック・ホームズになりました。
Let us examine the crumpled scores that have
それ語呂いいんだよな。虫眼鏡ってこれか。
Nothing of interest here. These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't understand why these music scores are covered with soot.
あ、それだけ？一人称視点にして走る必要あるのかねこのゲーム。で右クリックじゃねえな。あ、R でポイントクリックに切り替え。切り替えてどうしろと？第六感が働きますって面白いな。何が起きたのかわからないんだけど。
Not very well kept, this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface.
何のヒントが今手に入ったんだ本当
It
に。
must have fallen from the
さっぱりわか
chandelier.
らないんだけど、どうすんだ。シャンデリアからのろうそく。シャンデリアは調べられないのね。めっちゃ増えてる、調べられるの。
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
これはどういう向きで倒れてんの？丸いはいはいはい。これ座る部分か。そんな燃える？
Strange. There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
俺そんな英語得意じゃないから。得意じゃないっていうかむしろ苦手な方だからそんな流暢には喋れないよ。
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire,
読む
unless
だ
it
け
was
ならできないこ
pulled
とはないの
before
か。
the fire started.
ただ教科書英語並みになんかすごい聞き取りやすい感じのやつにな
The
る。
chest wasn't opened. The necklace wasn't in it.
Footprints. You are not going to get on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were putting out the fire.
完全にもう予測だけで喋ってるけど、この人もうちょい操作した方がいいんじゃないか？
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room.
どう？
Strange.
なんで今回
There
転した？
aren't any prints. Yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
あらかた調べたかなこれで。
What do you think, Holmes?
Let us search the room before the police get here. We might throw some light onto all this.
発言的にまだ調べられる場所があるのかな？でも青アイコンあった。
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
蹴られた形跡はないと。割と足元とかも見てるけど見当たんないな。
What do you think, Holmes?
Let us search the room before.
ないのかな。出口
When the
調べてみる
servants
か。
arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out through here until eventually, when the door was opened by the servants.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have retraced the thief's rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servants entered the room, there was no one to be seen. An acrobat, perhaps, but an invisible one? I do not think so.
The only explanation is that the thief escaped before the servants arrived. I don't know how, but there is no other way.
Half a point for the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I am pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes. Very well then, explain.
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, how could a thief be missed in the middle of 8 men?
I don't know. Because he is very small? Stop teasing us, Holmes.
Exactly, because he is small and remarkably agile.
You're thinking of a monkey?
And a trained monkey at that, without a doubt. A
Golden
Leontopithecus
Lion
rosalia from Central America.
絶滅危惧種では？
The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the stool, which in turn knocked aside the fire guard and started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his diamond to cut a hole, but was interrupted by the staff trying to gain entry via the door, and he panicked again. He ran across the piano, scattering the music scores onto the floor, before hiding inside the chandelier, knocking over a candle.
なかなか距離があるけど。
Finally, the servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation. Bravo, Holmes.
And the necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
We have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How were we unable to find it?
Because we paid insufficient attention to the only victim of this affair.
What victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson. A poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium, where they remain now.
がっつり袖濡らしてるな。まくったりとかすればいいじゃないか、ホームズ。
Marquis, here is your necklace, intact, just a little wet.
Mr. Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector,
袖
a
まくる
bag
こ
has
とも
just
なく
been held up.
全
You
く
must
躊躇せ
follow
ず
me
に
at once.
水槽に
Order
手
the
突っ込んだ
Scotland
のすごい
Yard.
びっくりするわ。
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
そういえば水槽の中に凶器だかなんかいろいろじゃねえわ凶器かなんか入ってて見えないみたいなトリック金田一かコナンになかったっけ
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
でまあチュートリアルまで終わったっぽい感じかなであれよキャラクターが結構がっつり喋ってくれるから俺喋ることないんだけどまあ字幕に表示されてるやつある程度読んだ方がいいのかな
Read the paper, Holmes.
ああコナンであったかただその話を実際に俺が見たものかどうかが
Read
わ
the
かんないん
paper,
だ
Holmes.
自分読ませてシャーロック・ホームズはコニンガム公爵宅になんでここにコロンが入ってる捜査は大失敗に終わる昨日名高い探偵シャーロック・ホームズはサモアのネックレス紛失調査に関する結論を提供すべくコニンガム公爵の邸宅に招かれた 盗難事件を取り巻く不可解な状況が警察をまごつかせ、公爵夫人が探偵に依頼したことは記憶にあるだろう。正しく、この価値ある宝石一品が保管され、展示されていた部屋の扉は閉まっていたが、宝石は盗まれた。夜中、部屋から鳴らされた呼び鈴に驚いた使用人たちは警報を発した。唯一存在する鍵を所持している公爵が到着して扉を開け、中で発生していた火事を急いで消し止めた。不可解的に消え失せたネックレスの紛失に気づく前のことだ。最も驚くべき事実は、部屋から全ての出入り口が閉まっていたにもかかわらず、室内には泥棒の姿がなかったことである。例のごとく、ホームズ氏は瞬時にしてこの事件を解決して宝石を回収した。宝石紛失に関する様々な説明に時間を費やすつもりはない。というのも、この事件の驚くべき進展に読者諸君に注意を払ってほしいからである。事件解決後、シャーロック・ホームズは自分でネックレスを金庫に戻してその場を後にした。しかし、その宝石がただの偽物だったと公爵が気づいたのだ。サマーのネックレスの特徴は、その真珠の希少にあり、ローカライズのミスかな。余分な飾りを持たない質素な作りをしている。真珠はサモアの群島の、干潟の型どこだこれ単品の文字の読み方は知らないな。なんとかの一部でしか採取することができず、科学者の中でも真珠のアラゴナイト結晶の密度の濃さに卓越した品質を評価している。極めて貴重なネックレスであり、公爵の祖父、また著名な探検家であったフェントン・アーウィック卿が世紀の初めに持ち込んだ品である。このネックレスは娘とニューキャッスル公爵との結婚の嫁入り道具として贈呈される宝石であった。そこで私は単純な質問をしたい。偏見を捨てて自分自身に問い尋ねてみようではないか。ネックレスは故意に偽物と取り替えられたのではないか。そう、ホームズ氏の手によって。なんでここ、エクスクラメーションつけたエクスクラメーションじゃねえや。クエスチョンつけた。自分で驚くのやめてくれよ。親愛なる読者諸君、質問の残忍性は承知の上である。まだあるものは衝撃を受けるかもしれない。ホイールでもページ送りできるのか。だが事実は事実である。私たち皆が持つ、有名な探偵の敬意と事実を見極める思考や判断を混同させてはいけない。弊社グローブエクスプローラーがシャーロック・ホームズの方法にためらいを表したのはこれが最初ではない。アルセーヌ・ルパン逃亡の我々の逆調査を忘れてはいけない。英国王室の名を傷つけることに有害な喜びを持つこのフランス人は、ホームズ氏の策略からも運よく逃れた。当時私たちは2人の間には暗黙の関係の可能性を検討することは躊躇しなかった。ホームズ氏をよく知っている方ならご存知であろうが、彼は法の利他的守護者というより、日和見主義者的な性格特性を持っている。この紳士の描写は友人であるジョン・ワトソン博士の記録から提供されたもので、真実から大きくかけ離れているという私の提案に読者諸君に注意を払っていただきたい。実際は彼は嘲笑的、軽蔑的、呆然たる態度でいいのかな。呆然たる態度を取り、そして警察に対して攻撃的である。現在療養中のレストレイド警部の代わりを務めるベインズ警部に対しては特にそう思える。その上、ヘロインやコカインなどの麻薬常習者でもある。読者諸君、このような理由からシャーロック・ホームズの名声は考慮に入れず、客観的な見解を取ることが重要なのだ。そして妥当な質問をしよう。ホームズが回収したネックレスはすでに偽物だったのか。もしそうだとしたらなぜそれについて述べなかったのか。また、どうして彼は自分で金庫にネックレスを戻すと言い張ったのか。探偵はこの事件に何か芳しくない関心でも抱いているのだろうか。それともこの珍品サマーのネックレスを盗むための単純な詐欺行為なのか。親愛なる読者諸君、意見の表明をするのはあなたたち次第なのです。私はシャーロック・ホームズを強奪者と呼ぶことをためらわない。そして今後も彼の疑わしい方法と動機を公共へ明らかにしていくゆえ、私を心頼みにしていただきたい。以下次号。何ページあと2ページか。ウッドビル王子の祖先が認識。昨夜、ウッドビル王子の正当性を示すために組織された上院委員会はその結果を公表した。予測通り、 王子の称号は承認された。委員会の不利な見解が成立していれば、王子は現王室の継承、そして政治活動への関与をまた放棄していたであろう。この青年、現在28歳は、オックスフォード大学で歴史と法を学び、哲学の専修免許状を取得している。彼は幼年時代に大半をフランスで過ごし、優れた料理法の知識を習得している。彼の背景が英国の上流社会に溶け込むのに不利になると考えている人もいると思う。だが、彼はポロ競技でも抜群な選手であり、また、バグパイプの見事な演奏者であることも忘れないでほしい。最後に、最近彼は慈善活動に積極的に関わっており、貧困者の援助をしていることを付け加えたい。まあ、下2ページは特に関係がないかな。これまた落ちたな。いい加減にしてくれないか。ちょっとこのゲーム落ちすぎじゃないか。さすがにこんな頻度で落ちられるとやる気がなくすんだけど。
Read the paper.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's
ネッ
open.
クレスの真贋は回収した時点で確かめてるはずなんだけどな。
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second to last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
あ、これ両方止めらなきゃ進まないタイプか。
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our
ハドソ
attention
ン
to
夫
the
人の
matters
ス
in
フレは
hand.
勝手に壊れるのか。
Perhaps you are right.
ちょっと見てみたいな。
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
What should we do next, Holmes?
で、まずは警部
What
に
do
話
you
し
think,
かける
Holmes?
か。
What do you think?
違う違う違う違う。こっちこっち。本物であるかどうかを調べますって。これ自分で調べてわかるもんなの？ホームズにそんな目利きができる。
These 3 pearls are of poor quality.
あ、うん、これは色違うし。
This pearl is a different.
回す必要があるってことだと思ったんだけど、裏から見ても表から見ても変わんないものしか違いがないけどなあ。一番怪しそうなところは調べさせてくれないし。
What should we do next? What should we do next?
What do you think?
調べたけどな。
What should we do?
他にまだ調べられる箇所があるのか？
This pearl is too small.
Oh.
It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
お、ワトソンの操作までするんだ。
Holmes's homemade analyzer. Holmes's
成
homemade
分析装置。そんなもんまで持ってんのか。
the work table, where Holmes analyzes things. The work table, where Holmes analyzes things.
フラスコがウォーターとアシックとしかないんだけど。水と酸だけが。もうちょっと種類あってもよくない？
I have found your map.
あ、この地図でそのまま移動すんのか。
The police.
読み込み入るたびに落ちるんだけど、なんだよこのゲーム。嫌がらせか？スムーズに先に進ませてくれ。これどっから再開されるんだよ。新聞からかよ。
Prince Woodville.
You know it.
つらみあるわ。
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second to last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that, Rag?
Inspector.
I don't...
The ne-
Miss... In it...
Let
It is unnecessary.
Inspector.
I...
The ne-
In...
It is
これ放送でやるべきじゃねえな。
In...
It is And the marshal.
Gee,
Holmes.
what? Be my guest.
This pearl. Too many This is not.
How?
Yeah.
No, you may.
Good.
You mentioned a...
Yes.
All right.
まあ調べてなかったところは調べられるけども。
And this is how my dear friend and colleague treats his clients' letters.
すげえいっぱいある。
Female anatomy. Hospitals and dispensary. General practitioner. That won't be. harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder.
普通にこれ殺人事件の凶器なの？持って帰ってきていいもんなのだよ。
This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house. Hospital. Here is where I write my stories about Holmes's cases.
なんか実績が解除されたな。
Holmes. I have found you.
これであらかた調べ終わったかな。こっちの部屋は外に行くやつだよね。
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one, therefore we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
あ、これが推理ボード。びっくりするほど何もないな。財産で主教は金庫の中も含めて高価なものを所持していなかった。うん。だけあ、で、こっからポイントをクリックしていくとどんどん情報が増えていくのね。
A broken file and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Phew. Chemical components, I think. A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety.
すがに主教が真面目じゃない人ってそうそうないだろう。
This stove is filled to overflowing.
あ、これストーブか。ストーブか。中で燃えてるのしかわからんな。
These burns are terrible.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You? But what does it matter, Holmes?
わざわざ言ってるってことは、靴のサイズもなんか関係あんのかな。
A finger. Apparently it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
How dreadful. This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet. A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
ここはあとはないか。
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
鋭くて繊細な刃。メスとか。
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
これは2箇所だけか。顔が全体的に一つのポイントになってるし、これだけかな。
Something is missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing. A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
下にも割れた瓶があるってことは2本もウイスキー持ってたの？主教はおそらく飲まないであろう感じの説明だったけど。まだなんか残ってる？ああ。この引いてる視点の方でか。
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these wounds were not made by his murderers.
しかしまあやってることが本当脱出ゲーみたいになってるな。レビューの時点でそういう風に書いてたからある程度は知ってはいたけど。
A whip?
No, it is a discipline for self-flagellation. This metal rod is for fastening the chilies. It's a cilice designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance.
つまり主教はド M と。 画面引きに戻すのがちょっとめんどくさいな。お
I am missing some information.
うん、まあ、さっぱりわかんない。
Impossible to open it. Reverend, I'm missing something, an implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No, go to the devil!
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else. You have no right to search here.
権限がないって言いつつ結構好き勝手やらせてもらってるけどな。
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles. Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers.
これがメジャーか。
Size 9.
じゃあこの甲府が履くような靴はあれか、司教の靴か。
Size 9.
同じもの。これは別口。
Size 9.
全部同じか。
Size 9 and a half. Size 9 and a half. Size 9.
サイズ9多いな。
I need something. I need something. Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
で、疑問2が。難しくない？ちょっと。向きが結構バラバラになってるからな。大体片方しかついてないから飛び跳ねてそうだけど。まあ飛び跳ねてみるか。
That's not right. Start again.
だよね、違うよね。いや、こんなピンポイントの足跡だけでちゃんとわかるもんなの
？Size 9.
9でしょ？こっちも確か9でしょ？
Size 9. Size 9 and a half. Size 9 and a half.
9.5 だけ2つついてて
Size 9. Nothing of interest here.
まあ靴が違うか。
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again, but one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
サイズ9で、主教が何も履いてないから主教の靴を奪って逃げたとか？
What should we do next, Holmes? A surgical scalpel covered in blood. There isn't any doubt. The wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
決めつけるの早いな、ホームズ。
The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
あとはこっちの2つの扉か。
This door has not been forced. Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
うわー、質素。狭い。
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here.
で、調べられるところはベッドだけ？日記か聖書かわかんないけど、その本は調べなくていいのか。なんかメモっぽいものもあるしな。でも主観でも調べられないから、どうしようもないか。
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have
これ
the
ベランダな
key?
の？
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson.
よく今まで通報されてないな。
Closed.
あ、これ会話内容を遡れるのね。この章の中ってわけではないのか。最初からだな。これは調べられたりとかしないのか。場所の入れ替えはできるけど。これ入れ替えられるシステム必要あんの？後半進んだら組み合わせてなんか作れるとか。先進めないとどうにもわからんかね。
You have no right.
あ、また落ちやがった。いや、もういいよ。こんだけクラッシュするゲームは放送でやってられないわ。なんだろうね、一周放送外とかでプレイしてからやった方がいいのかな。スムーズに放送を続けさせるっていう点では。とりあえずこれは放送ではやめとくか。放送用に買ったゲームが放送に向いてないっていうのがなかなかきついところだけど。よし、じゃあ終わろう。めちゃくちゃ不完全燃焼だけど終わろう。はい、というわけで、来てくれたニキ、バミー、ナユさんありがとうございました。はい、不完全燃焼だけど今回これで終了です。お疲れ様でした。